As the story goes, a shepherd of the Ta'amirech tribe left his flock of sheep and goats to search for a stray. Amid the crumbling limestone cliffs that line the northwestern rim of the Dead Sea, around the site of Qumran, he found a cave in the crevice of a steep rocky hillside. Intrigued, he cast a stone into the dark interior, only to be startled by the sound of breaking pots. This sound echoed around the world. For he had stumbled on the greatest find of the century, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Upon entering the cave, the young Bedouin found a mysterious collection of large clay jars. The majority were empty, and upon examining the remaining few, he found that the jars were intact, with lids still in place. However, a closer look revealed nothing but old scrolls, some wrapped in linen and blackened with age. He and several companions brought the scrolls to Kando, a Bethlehem antiquities dealer, for appraisal. Intrigued by the findings, Kando sent the Bedouin back to the caves in search of more treasures. To his delight, they returned with a total of 7 scrolls. Blind to their real value, the Bedouin sold 4 of the 7 scrolls to Kando and 3 to a second antiquities dealer named Salahi. Kando then resold the 4 scrolls to Archbishop Samuel, head of the Syrian Orthodox monastery of St. Mark in Jerusalem. When Hebrew University professor Eliezer Lipa Sukenik caught wind of the scrolls' discovery through an Armenian antiquities dealer, he set out to investigate the significance of the finds. Braving Arab-Jewish tensions, he traveled to meet the Armenian dealer at the British divided military zone of the Jerusalem border. In this clandestine meeting, the dealer held up a fragment of leather for the professor to examine. As Sukenik peered through the wire, he recognized the ancient writing. Eager to see more, Sukenik traveled with the dealer to Bethlehem to see Salahi, who was in the possession of 3 scrolls. Opening the scrolls, he was amazed to see Hebrew manuscripts, 1,000 years older than any existing biblical text. In his diary, Sukenik recollected, "My hands shook as I started to unwrap one of them. I read a few sentences. It was written in beautiful biblical Hebrew. The language was like that of the Psalms, but the text was unknown to me. I looked, and I suddenly had the feeling that I was privileged by destiny to gaze upon a Hebrew scroll which had not been read for more than 2,000 years. When word spread that these 7 scrolls contained biblical texts and other ancient religious writings, it opened the way for a series of similar finds in 10 other nearby caves over the next 9 years. This vast manuscript treasury, known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, includes a small number of near-complete scrolls and tens of thousands of scroll fragments, representing over 900 different texts written in Hebrew, Aramaic and Greek. Excavation over the years has extended outside the Qumran area, south along the western shore of the Dead Sea, from the caves of Wadi Mirabat and Nahol Hever to Marzada. Additional scroll fragments have been discovered at numerous sites. Today, all of these Judean desert manuscripts are collectively known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. News of the discovery sent archaeologists, as well as Bedouin treasure hunters, racing to excavate the area where the first scrolls were found. Overall, they discovered thousands of scroll fragments within 10 additional caves, in total the remains of over 900 manuscripts. Yet it was the Bedouin who discovered the majority bounty, the richest treasures of the caves. In Cave 4 alone, dug out of the sheer face of an escarpment, thousands of fragments from about 500 different scrolls were found. DeVos and Harding negotiated with the Bedouin to purchase the scrolls they had found. In 1953, Harding and DeVos appointed an international team of scholars to begin the publication of the scrolls. As the team began their work at the Rockefeller Museum, piecing together the fragments of over 900 manuscripts, a complex historical puzzle emerged. For the first 40 years after their discovery, the study of the thousands of text fragments was monopolized by fewer than a dozen international scholars, all great experts in their respective fields. This limited team size prevented the speedy publication of the texts. In the early 1990s, the Israel Antiquities Authority, IAA, took major steps to advance the publication of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Hebrew University professor Emanuel Tov was nominated as chief editor, and the publication was divided among about 100 international scholars. By 2001, the majority of the official editions had been published and were located in academic libraries. At the same time, concern for the scroll's physical condition led the IAA to establish a conservation lab dedicated solely to the conservation and preservation of the scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are held in various institutions around the world, but the majority of them are housed in Israel. The primary location is the Israel Museum's Shrine of the Book in Jerusalem. This museum features a dedicated wing specifically designed to exhibit and preserve the scrolls. The Shrine of the Book is renowned for its distinctive white dome and underground design, symbolizing the importance and sanctity of the scrolls.